Today, I am doing another reaction video, this time to Altcoin Daily, top 6 altcoins set to explode in 2023. And you can probably guess what one of them is based on the content of this channel, but we're going to look at that and we're going to see what he has to say, because this is yet another major YouTube influencer talking about the coin that we talk a lot about on this channel. So let's check that out in today's Frugal BC. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Frugal BC, and welcome back to the channel. We got another reaction video today. Altcoin Daily has a video called Top 6 Altcoins Set to Explode in 2023. He is once again focusing on the ISO 20022 compliance list. This is the list of coins that are compliant with the new protocols that are going to allow for interbank transfers. This is going to affect next year. It's going to be a big deal. And Algo's on that list. Just want to say that it's a pretty big deal that Algorand is finally getting mentioned in a lot of these projects. I think that's really a big deal. Stay tuned at the end too, because we're going to look at Dapp Radar and see where Algorand falls in terms of where it actually falls in the ecosystem, how far up it is. So keep an eye on that too. That's going to be toward the end of the video, but let's see what Altcoin Daily has to say.
And next up, coming in at coin number 4, and then a different one of coin number 3. A few coins off of the ISO 20022 compliant crypto list. So what does this mean? What is ISO 20022 and which cryptos are on the list? So here's the definition, and just understand these are protocols that are used for bank communication, and this definition is sort of technical, but ISO 20022 protocol is a standard for electronic data interchange between financial services in the payments industry. It's based on DLT, distributed ledger technology, and uses ISO 20022 as a messaging mechanism. So this is a regulatory framework that the traditional financial system has deemed okay. Banks worldwide have already committed to this worldwide regulatory framework, which backs both SWIFT and the Federal Reserve. And as we move towards this new quantum financial system, any third party that wants to interact with banks must be able to use the ISO 20022 format.
So that's a big deal. This is the entire banking industry is going to be operating on this standard, and Algorand is compliant with it. So that's a very good thing. Look for coins that are going to be compliant. These are the ones that are going to survive. I think are going to survive the bear market, and when they have a lot of things going on in the ecosystem. I'm also very bearish on that. So let's continue here.
As regulation for cryptocurrency becomes more prevalent this year and years to come, this is what the traditional system has deemed okay with them. Banks and financial institutions worldwide are entering a new era as they gear up to switch their payment systems from using SWIFT messages to now ISO 20022, a much more structured and data-rich financial messaging standard. By 2025, ISO will be the global standard for high or large value payment systems in all reserve currencies, and it will handle 80% of transactions and 87% of transaction value globally. So regulation is the trend, and usually the trend is your friend. So we would be remiss not to include some of these ISO compliant cryptocurrencies. And they are, as of now, Stellar, HBAR, IOTA, XDC, Ripple, Algorand, and Quant. Each of these cryptos was developed to make global transactions more accessible, and because of this, they could comply with the ISO 20022 standard more quickly.
Okay, so that is a very big deal. Okay, so Algorand's on this list, and keep watching because he's going to signal out Algorand as a pretty important project. I like what Altcoin Daily is doing here. I like his content. I think he's a good dude. Someday I hope to chat with him when I'm a little bit bigger.
Each of these cryptos was developed to make global transactions more accessible, and because of this, they could comply with the ISO 20022 standard more quickly. Now, obviously, this is just the start, because, however, as more cryptos do not want to be left out of the worldwide payment sector and move towards ISO compliancy, this list will only expand. Also, by the way, just because you're on this list doesn't make it a good coin. Just because they follow ISO 20022 compliancy doesn't necessarily mean they're a suitable investment.
Very important.
Okay. So, what this means to you as an investor, as SWIFT, the Bank of England, the Fed, as all these major entities start transferring value globally on these ISO compliant networks. Let's keep tabs on this list. For today, if I had to name coins that I like, I would choose off of this list. Number one, I like Algorand, and Algorand is that blue chip L1 on this list, in my opinion. As for a second option, I might just choose XRP, even though I'm not a long-term fundamental believer. I think they are accomplishing more than, some of these others. Also, if they win the case against the SEC, might be a good trade.
So did you hear that? His number one coin is Algorand. Like you said, it's a blue chip, it's a layer one, and it's going to be ISO 20022 compliant. Thanks Altcoin. Now I know how to say that too, by the way, because I was really stumbling around with that when I did the Bitcoin video. And I know they're friends. I'm actually a much bigger fan of Altcoin Daily than I am BitBoy Crypto. I think he's just very reasonable, very matter of fact. I like the way he delivers stuff. Big fan of his, and definitely go check out his channel and watch all his stuff. I think it's well worthwhile. But like I said, so yeah, someday when I'm bigger, I would love to be able to chat with him. So I think it's actually twins. There's actually two of them. Well, anyway, so one other thing I wanted to add here to do before we wrap up the videos, I wanted to show you the Dapp Radar because I think this is really interesting. It's something that he dug into elsewhere in the video. I want to see where Algorand stacks up on this. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, so this is Dapp Radar. I want to go to the rankings and I want to look at, just to be clear, now this is, you may be wondering, well, why isn't Algorand more popular if it has all these great qualities? And it's because they just haven't reached the volume yet. If you look at the top 10, the very top, Alien Worlds is the very top of this Dapp right now. It's on the BNB chain and Wax. Wax is also on number 2 with Hive and Splinterlands. There's some, I really need to look into Wax more because I don't understand it exactly. And then BNB chain also has number 3, and then Solana is number 4 with Gamma, and Thundercore. I haven't heard of that. There's another Wax one. A lot of Wax ones on there. You get what I'm saying? There's no Algorand in the top. What are we at, 25 here? Yeah, no, and in fact, it goes down quite a bit more. So we can look by chain, and I'm just gonna. So the very top one is Tinyman, and Tinyman is ranked 105 in general, number 25 in DeFi, all DeFi apps. So that's pretty good. And of course, it's the number 1 on Algorand. Tinyman makes sense. That's where all the trades are happening. They have their own farming pools too. That's going to bring in a lot of users, but still a long ways to go, right? So if you go back to Algorand, then followed by Algodex, then by Yieldly is still down there. Actually, they have ETH on there, Algorand and ETH, but ETH is crossed out, I think, because that's kind of a long story. We'll get into that today. AlgoFi, Humble, Folks, Vestige, Octarian, AlgoStake. So some of these you've probably seen from the channel, some you have not. Lots on there, and I'm actually going to keep looking at this because there may be some on here that I haven't done that I should do content on, but just to give you an idea, if you're kind of wondering, because this is one of the things I've always asked myself is like, why if Algorand is so great, it made sense to me when I started doing stuff on Algorand. I'm like, oh, you can actually do this stuff. You don't get charged $1 billion in gas fees. It's fast. The projects seem to actually work when I try them. They don't fail all the time. I was like, why is this? The network has never been down once. We can't say that about a lot of other chains. This stuff actually is happening on it versus other ones. Why isn't Algorand more popular? It's just a matter of getting the users on these dApps. So one thing I think could make a huge difference is I really think Cosmic Champs is going to be high on this list because they're going to have an on-ramp for people that don't have crypto wallets. So you'll be able to play Cosmic Champs whether you have a wallet or not. And it'll probably bring more people into the ecosystem because you'll be able to play those games. You'll get rewards and you'll say, wait, I want to do something with this reward. So then you'll get an app, you'll get the wallet so you can actually enjoy the rewards that you're earning. That's what Maddie's plan is for Cosmic Champs. That's what he said on my channel, and I think that's going to be a big deal. But this stuff is really positive to me. Seeing BitBoy Crypto talk about it, seeing Altcoin Daily talk about it. These guys were hardly talking about Algorand before, and I don't think it needs that, but I think it's a good sign. I think it's a really good sign. I'm glad he's talking about it. Definitely check out his content. Altcoin Daily is good stuff. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel here, please do so. I usually ask at the beginning. I kind of forgot. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, I appreciate that. Thanks, guys, for watching. Love to hear what your thoughts are. What are your thoughts on the other coins? If you watched his video, let me know what your thoughts on the other coins on that channel too. So anyway, I'm Frugal BC. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. And as always, see you in the future.